All right. What is up, everyone? It's your boy Tireless Golem. I am streaming. I am also recording. This is gonna be another hour-long stream video slash record, but the video will be itself. That I upload for daily vids is probably only gonna last like less than 20 minutes. Actually, it might last a little longer than that because we are going to be opening up some promo packs that I have a lot of them. I got a lot of promo packs that I got to open, so we're gonna do that. And we did miss on this wonder pick. We might as well grab something here. It looks like I'm missing a second Magnemite. So it'd be nice for us to pick a second one up. Let's go here. Oh, so close. So close. I'm like there's a couple of cards that I'm like missing right now. The couple of cards that I'm missing right now include like a second copy of Magnemite, I guess, and like I guess I'm missing Blissey too, Chansey, which kind of is unfortunate because Chansey, I have the Blissey EX that I got from like the from the campaign. Wonder picks, I gotta say, are the hardest things to open in this game. Far and away, they are the hardest. So yeah, we already picked some of these. We're just gonna go over here and we're gonna grab onto. We'll do daily gifts in a bit. Actually, we can probably do that now. That way we can get a free pack here. I think we can cheese our way into a free pack if we... Oh, actually, never mind. I was going to say there was a chance we might have been able to cheese our way into another pack, but I don't think we're going to be able to do that given the metrics that we're at right now. So why don't we go ahead and open up some of these promo packs. We got time. And yeah, no, it's been incredible. We're still looking for Raichu. We're still looking for some more Raichu and some more Blissies. We got through Lapras EX. We also got through Necrozma, obviously. We got through Cresselia. The only thing we're missing, like I said, is just that extra piece for the Raichu EX event, as well as, of course, the whatchamacallit, Blissey EX. So it's just Blissey EX, Raichu EX, and I think there's some other full art ones that I'm not going to really... I can probably focus on those later on if I want to flare out those cards. It's not a priority for me, honestly, because the idea is that they might end up just flaring cards, allowing us to flare cards automatically. So there's no guarantee that they're going to do that for promo A, but there's still a possibility, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and check out some more of these promos. We're looking for any EX, really. We've opened up a bunch of Blissey, a bunch of Raichu, and the hope is that we'll pull at least like one. If I can open like one EX from today's promo packs, I'd be a really happy camper. But even if we don't, we can kind of... There's a word for this. It's called... force your way into a brute force. You can brute force your way into oh nice, we got the Blissey EX. Okay, so that's Blissey number 6, I believe. Blissey number 6. We can get to Blissey number 7 if we keep trying, I think, but it's going to be a little bit tough. It's going to be a little bit tough. And also, like, the question is, do I even want to flare out Blissey if I'm not going to be playing Blissey? Because I mean, I could play Blissey EX, but that implies that I have to play a Chansey, and I don't even know if there's any good Chanseys out there that I can play, because a lot of the Chanseys that I can think of are not really that great. I mean, I could play... I mean, like I said, I'm not going to play the Wonder Pick Chansey, obviously, because that one's a little hard to get. I guess I could grab a copy of that. I mean, Magnemite promo, I'm not going to lose sleep over. I do only have one copy of that, unfortunately, but what can you do, right? So we're kind of hoping to pull another Blissey, I guess. If not, we do have some Raichu EXs that we could probably try to get here. We're sort of working our way through this list. And again, it would be really nice if they would allow us to open up all of these cards all at once. It would save a lot of time and energy, but they obviously have their reasons for doing things a certain way. And obviously, we have to kind of respect that. There's nothing we can really do about it. We can either respect or not respect it, but it's just the way it is, right? We have to open them up one by one. Not sure exactly what the rationale for this was, but hey, I'm not sure what the rationale is for limiting ourselves to only spending a certain amount of Pokegold on packs. I do think it's an interesting business design, right? It's an interesting business decision to do that, because what ends up happening is you have people like me who just end up entertaining ourselves with a little bit of expenditure day by day, and instead of like giving everything all out at once. So here's a Mimikyu. That's our first appearance of Mimikyu. We have 9 copies of that from before. We got 2 more of these solo battle rewards to open. What will it be? Will we get another EX is the question. Nope. I'm happy we got at least one Blissey EX. Like I said, these EX cards are very hard to come by. The full arts are a chore. I will say they are a chore to open. All right, so that would be my 2 cents on the thing. It's a chore. It is really hard to open up some of these promos. You can keep trying and trying. It's nice that you can use as much Pokegold as you want to grab them, but it is a very difficult thing to do. So let's go over here. We've got, I might as well just do this. I mean, we're not going to fully complete our daily mission, but we can at least try. And what are we going to do? We're going to go back to Mega Blaziken for today. I wanna revisit Mega Blaziken because Mega Blaziken is the set that has May in it, and it also has the other card that we want, which is a Flame Patch. But we can actually open up Crown Rare Flame Patch anytime we want, really. We can open it up in any of these other 2 packs. It can be opened up in any of the 3 packs. Same with the other Crown Rares. There's 3 Crown Rares, and they can all pretty much be opened up in any of the packs, right? So it's not like we're chasing after something here specifically. Now, we do have 2,000 pack points, sorry, which means that we will be able to, in fact, grab, exchange pack points for a Crown Rare. But therein lies the issue at hand, which is, do we go for a Crown Rare today, or do we do the smart thing and do we go for, I don't know, do we go for like for example, do we go for trainers? I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm just like having a brain fart right now. Yeah, do we go for a trainer? Do we go for 2 trainers? Do we go for 2 Mays? Because if we go for 2 Mays, right, we could potentially just not have to open Mega Blaziken anymore. So that is something that I think is very interesting. We could potentially go for the double May, which is one scenario. The other scenario is we go for the Crown Rare and hope to open May. That's scenario number 2. And scenario number 3 is we open a May. We actually open a May, right? And we probably go for a second May and then exchange for another 2-star. Now, that is definitely a possibility. But what I will say is that it might not be that fruitful for us to exchange for a Crown Rare, considering the fact that Crown Rares are a little bit, ironically, they're a little bit easy to come by, if that makes any sense. I find that they're a little bit easy to come by. And that might not really make any sense to you, considering we have only opened like 1 Crown Rare in the last 7 days. But it's very possible that we will eventually open like 1 Crown Rare. There's really no guarantee that you'll open a 2-star. 2 stars, Thankfully, they can be traded, right? But they are very, very difficult to come by. So that is something to keep in mind. Oh, nice. A shiny Geodude. Awesome. That is a new card for us, which is nice. So we do have that. And another Golem. Okay, so we have Golem. We have Golems out the wazoo, but we need a second Geodude, I guess. Um, and yeah, we could potentially open like a Crown Rare Flame Patch. That would be another scenario. In which case, that would probably be ideal scenario because then I could just exchange all my pack points for 2 Mays and call it, right? But I think there's a little bit something more interesting to that feature because, right now our goal is to get Flame Patch in May. We are mainly targeting those 2 cards. We can target other cards too, but the main reason why we're opening up the Mega Rising Blaziken packs is because, it mainly contains just that one card that we're looking for. And that means that we are missing out on a lot of opportunity for other cards, right? For example, we could be opening up, well, speak of the devil, we could be opening up Mega Absol, like a I don't know, Rainbow Rare Absol. That is one possibility if we go to the Gyarados set. I don't know where Lycia is. I think Lycia might be in the Mega Altaria, but I'm not 100% sure about that, to be honest with you. But it seems like we've spent the last couple of days focusing in on Mega Blaziken to the point where it's almost like ad nauseum, right? It's gotten to a point where it's gotten like a little bit too much, I would say, right? But it's something interesting to think about. There's a few other things that I want to talk about in today's stream, today's video, that have been brought to my attention through social media and otherworldly stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is flaring, right? Flaring, we talked about flaring. We've had discussions about this in the past about flaring old cards, like, promo A cards. We know that they've made an announcement about set A cards. Are they going to retroactively give us back those extra copies of cards? We don't know, and I wouldn't really bet my money on it, right? That's just number one. But number two, the other thing that I find interesting is that they are doing this campaign. So there was 2 parts to this anniversary, this first year anniversary campaign. The first one is they give you like 3 packs of these sets, right? And then the second part, which is forthcoming, is they give you like a pack from the old days of the A set, right? They give you like a pack from each kind of era from last year. But one thing that I find, oh, nice, we got a little 2-star Mega Blaziken there. That's a pretty good one. At least we got something, right? The other thing that I find interesting here is that they are providing packs to people who flare. Like if you flare 2 or 3 cards, you get a prize. You get like a pack, right? And I think that's interesting because what if like there is a universe where someone like me could have flared out every single card, like almost every single card out there, to the point where I wouldn't have anything to flare out. And if I flared out every single card, theoretically, I'm not saying that this would happen, but if I had theoretically flared out every single card in the game, I would have nothing to flare out, and then I wouldn't be able to accomplish I wouldn't be able to get those free packs, right? And that I think is really interesting because it almost rewards you for not flaring cards, right? You ideally should flare like some cards that you're interested in, but it goes back to this whole debate that you're almost rewarded for not doing something. I'll give you a perfect example about this. Going back to the whole flaring thing when it comes to flaring out like A set cards, you will flare out like, for example, for me, Full Art Dragulge. You will flare out like these older cards, but then you're almost rewarded for not doing that now because if they don't give you those extra copies, oh nice, an Alolan Dugtrio, cool. If you don't get those extra copies back, then you're getting punished for doing it early, right? So that's something that I think we need to have a discussion about. It's not something that would really impact the financial decisions of Pokemon TCG Pocket. It's not something that would probably even matter to the average consumer, but it is something that I think we should think about and probably ruminate. So anyway, That's the way it is. It seems like people are rewarded for holding off on doing certain things in this game, and maybe mindful watching, mindful waiting. Keeping an eye on things, because we never know, right? It's the same. It's the same argument that we talked about before, where some of the decisions that we made in previous videos were affected by announcements that were made in the future, right? For example, Deluxe EX. The fact that that was a set that was only going to last a month affected our behavior, because we were going to routinely spend money on that set to make sure that we got as much of it as possible. Whereas in a year from now, you can be sure there's going to be a Deluxe EX2 set that probably comes out the same month as Deluxe EX1. I mean, this is again just conjecture. This is all speculation, but we can maybe make some reasonable assumptions here. The other thing that is something I'm not sure about, and is something we probably should talk about, is this idea of promos coming back. Now, they did bring back some of these promos in a reissue, right? And that's happening right now. It's going on for a few more days, which is great. I think that's a great decision. But it is interesting that they are sticking to the Wonder Pick events as being the only ways to obtain these cards. Whereas, one could maybe fathom an idea that maybe they bring back some of these cards in the form of, like, I don't know. Oh, nice, a Hala. Okay, that's a good one. That's not a May, but it's still a good one. One could fashion a universe where where was I going with this? I completely lost my train of thought because of that Hala. I completely forgot my train of thought. Anyway, oh yeah, promos. Yeah, so I guess the thing about promos is that they might bring it back in the form of shinies, right? They could reprint them in the form of shiny cards. They've reprinted cards in future sets. We've seen that through shiny reprints. We've also seen that through the Deluxe EX reprints, right? The Deluxe EX reprints were a pretty big concept, and it's something that I think they could easily do in the future. Not even with promo EX, but just simply reprinting cards in future sets with maybe a different artwork. Cards from like the A set coming back. I mean, they're already coming back in this set full force, right? You can see from this set that the shinies, almost all of them are like crown rares from previous sets. Have you noticed that? Like the Arceus, the Dialga, the Palkia, I think are in here too. Like they put a lot of stuff from the older set. A lot of the mascot Pokemon into this set, which is I think is interesting. All right, well, there's a Dragology. We don't need too many of those, so unfortunately, we're not getting the cards we want. I think we're going to end up exchanging pack points for a May, and that's okay. I think it's okay for us to be okay with that. It's not like we have a choice, but it's just something to think about, right? So as we move forward, we have a few more of these packs left. It seems like I've had some really bad luck with this set. But it goes back to the whole conversation that we've had about, having good days and bad days. And sometimes you just have to get hit with the bad days and just live with it. This is a set where I've infamously been very bad at opening cards. Having, almost like the worst luck when it comes to figuring out like what to open. I think that when it comes to like what I value in this set, I probably value May, and I don't know about Lucia. I don't see myself necessarily playing Lucia, but it is a card that I could probably want. I'll probably end up, exchanging pack points for. But at the end of the day, we're not getting. It doesn't seem like we're getting a whole lot here from today, yesterday, or even the past few days. We will focus on, I think, the 2 stars, because the other thing you have to understand is I've been on these trade forums as well. I've been asking around for trades and also asking people on my server for trades. It seems like people are very hesitant to trade away things like May. I think that there is, and that brings another discussion in, right? Like the fact that there's a lot of value to some of these cards. A lot of value. Oh, another Dragology? What is today? Why do we have so much of this card? Oh, and a shiny Manaphy. Okay, I'll take that. That's actually a good one that I'll accept. That might even be our second one. But yeah, it's been a little bit rough for sure. But I have faith that we will get something here. Now, let's take a look and see where we are in the process. All right, so we're going to actually just end up exchanging pack points for the 2 Mays. Let me just see if there's anything else that I want before I do that. Copycat is good. Lucia is also really good, right? Let's hold off on trading for Lucia. I think that we need to trade for May first. I think having 2 copies of May is very important. Put 2 random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. For each Pokemon you put into your hand this way, choose a Pokemon to shuffle from your hand into your deck. I think that is a very, very good card. Definitely something we will be looking for. Do I go for Lucia is the other question. I think I go for May. And I'll tell you why. I want to go for 2 Mays because if I go for 2 Mays, that means I significantly have less of an incentive to go for the Flame Patch, the Mega Rising Blaziken set, right? I still have things that I need to open from this set, but now I can focus on, like, Lucia, for example. I can focus on that. It looks like Lucia's in this one. We can focus on our efforts on other packs because we've spent a couple of days now on the Blaziken set, not really opening much. The hope is that maybe we can find something else from other sets as well, because at the end of the day, you don't want to have your distribution to be too uneven, but that's just the way it is sometimes, right? That's just the way it goes. So anyway, we are coming to a close soon on this video. Hope anyone watching is having a good time watching. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers, which is huge. Possibly something that we could be looking forward to in the future, doing another giveaway. If we reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month, which is a possibility, we will definitely consider. Well, actually, no, we won't consider. We will be doing a $50 giveaway to one lucky winner on the Discord. So I will link in the description of this video the link to my Discord. And we have a few people in here, actually. It seems like people have been slowly joining. We have over 30 members, which is pretty big, considering we only recently created this Discord not too long ago. So definitely looking forward to that. We have a few more things here to look forward to. So obviously, you know, I think having 2 Mays was very essential. I think that having 2 Mays was way more valuable than having the Crown Rare Flame Patch. Now that we have the 2 Mays, you know, we can finally stop bothering ourselves about the fact that we don't have them, and we can focus on these other cards that we need. I think that we'll eventually get to Lucia as well. I do have faith that we're going to get Lucia. The question is anyone going to be willing to trade for Lucia? Because if they are, we could be looking at possibly just going after more Mays in the Blaziken set, honestly. So we have a lot to think about. I hope this video finds you well. There's still a lot of things that I still haven't talked about, and I'm hoping that we can have more conversations like that in the future. I will be ending the video for this. I'll stay on stream for a bit. It doesn't look like we've got too many people on stream tonight. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. I upload videos daily, and peace out.